Welcome, friends. Before I get into the meat of this topic, I'd like to set the stage for talking about my Amazon New World experience. I played New World last year in alpha, this year in alpha, as well as the current closed beta. I'm coming from the perspective of an 8-year Neverwinter veteran with a full-time career and a family. This means that I do not have 40, 60, or even 100 hours in any normal week to sink into a game. In reality, I'm lucky to get an hour or even 3 hours into any non-work, non-family activity in any given day. As such, I could be classed as casual, casual plus, or maybe even a hobbyist player. At a high level, what exactly is New World? Well, New World is an MMO produced by Amazon Games, coming in at between $40 and $50 depending on the version you purchase, with a marketing statement of, quote, open world MMO filled with danger and opportunity, where you'll forge a new destiny for yourself as an adventurer shipwrecked on the supernatural island of Aternum. Endless opportunities to fight, forage, and forge await you among the island's wilderness and ruins. Channel supernatural forces or wield deadly weapons in a classless, real-time combat system and fight alone with a small team or in massed armies for PvE and PvP battles. The choices are yours. End quote. Looking at the closed beta product and marketing statement, New World is a game that strives to strike a balance between PvP, PvE, and crafting/marketing type content. Individual players can certainly decide to focus solely on one or two of those dimensions, but a company and faction will have the most success with a good balance of aggregate playtime between PvP, PvE, and crafting. So if you have a member that is entirely focused in on crafting, for example, you would be best served having other members focused in on PvP and PvE content. Well, what makes New World stand out? From a pacing perspective, New World is deliberately slow, with no mounts and quick travel, which is available only after manually traveling to a location while also costing precious resources, which encourages you to plan and carefully use your fast travel. This is especially true at lower levels. Ignoring some cheesy hacks that Amazon will likely fix, New World is very obviously designed as a smell the roses and take your time paced game, with a slow build and burn to 60, with each level feeling like an accomplishment rather than a rite of passage. This is reinforced by the notification system alerting you when a friend hits a new level threshold. The change in pacing will be the biggest shock to many contemporary MMO players and PvP quick match junkies who have been conditioned to instant gratification with laser focus on going straight to the end objective so that you can run the same content on repeat for RNG-based loot drops. By and large, New World is a game that gives you what you have earned after you have earned it. New World is a visually stunning adventure, begging for you to stop and admire what it offers, while delivering more polish in beta than some recent AAA titles have on release. While it may not be as fluid or use, ray tracing goodies like some AAA titles out in 2021, it stands in stark contrast to older competing MMO titles. Games like ESO just feel flat, and titles like Neverwinter feel like they fall cartoonishly short when set beside New World. In defense of Neverwinter, they did drastically improve graphics in 2021 with the Mod 20 Sharandar release, but it came at the cost of how many players could concurrently play together, thereby taking away some of the massive from MMO. You really start to see the might of Amazon's network and game studio in action when you consider the feat of engineering required to pull off visually stunning backdrops and interactive environment along with hundreds of people in the same nearby area, all while experiencing relatively low lag and smooth gameplay. The combat and class system in New World is a no nonsense and intuitive effort. Abilities and bonuses unlock as you use a weapon through a mastery point based system. Each weapon can have up to 20 points, so in theory, you could slowly work on fully mastering each weapon in the game and experimenting with builds to your heart's content. Weapons are very much skill based, meaning weapons that are harder to use have bigger possible upsides, but also bigger possible downsides. This will be especially evident if you play PvP. The game's crafting and gathering system is especially well balanced. Gathering materials are spread out and in such a fashion that most items you run across would be in reach if you did just a little bit more, and are generally scarce enough to make you go searching if you want to focus on a particular product. The crafting system itself is well balanced in complexity, meaning it has plenty of depth to be engaging while not being so complicated as to require a math degree to navigate. Of course, you could just avoid all of this and buy or trade your way past these systems. New World is bringing all of the above and an impressive system of PvP and PvE balance. Not only do we get huge areas to flag or not flag for PvP, but we get massive PvP battles as well as engaging PvE instanced content. In short, Amazon is chasing the unicorn, a unicorn that has been chased by other companies to great failure. Amazon is attempting to strike a balance between PvE and PvP systems, and to their credit, they are on the road to success. So, what's not to like? I'm just not a fan of having to pick a region and a server in order to play with friends. This means that if you plan to come to the game and you have friends you want to play with in two separate regions, you will either need to choose which to play with or grind out two characters. Take note, however, that you cannot move between servers in the same region, and you are limited to just one character per region. While I understand why this is the case mechanically, it's a problem long conquered in other MMOs and is still an extremely frustrating experience. If you plan to play New World with friends, make sure that you coordinate the region, server, and faction you will all be playing in well before you start. As of the closed beta, there were still some bugs, exploits, and server stability issues, with primetime audiences getting hit with downtimes on several occasions for patching. Luckily, the beta did expose some player exploits for things like speed leveling and PvP exploitation. There are also several places with unusual visual bugs that create a warping effect on terrain, especially on rock outcroppings. However, with the pace of development we have seen from the development team, I would expect many issues to be resolved well before August 31st. That being stated, we will want to be on the watch for more issues as the game goes live. As many of you know from experience, a successful or disastrous go live, along with development team response, is critical to community perception and the long-term success of a game like New World. Okay, cool. So, TLDR, Amazon's New World is an impressive feat in game engineering and is the first game in years that keeps me wanting to come back for more, all while leaving me with a big grin on my face. Is it worth the $40? Heck yeah. I'm counting the days until August 31st. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed the content, please hit like and subscribe, or check out my other content on Twitch.